Hi, welcome. So let's go and see how this sales simulator session bot, all the hotkey scripting stuff works. What do we need? We need auto hotkey installed. We need the sales simulator 5 installed, and just take it from me, the pullovers macro creator comes in very handy. Alright, what does what? Auto hotkey is just runs the scripts, sales simulator kills the game, and the pullover macro creator is something you would start to record how to do things. Like if you say, okay, I want to know how sales simulator 5 is started, you hit the pullover macro creator and record all the steps you're taking. Save those in a script, and then you can read the script and see, those are the steps I have to take. Now, one warning. The macro recorder, of course, also records all the pauses, and you may not be fast enough typing, so there, between every keystroke there will be like 70, 80, 100 milliseconds. That's a lot of seconds between all the strokes and all the commands, and you might have to get rid of them to make the script work efficiently. Now, you maybe don't know which of the pauses you need and which ones you don't, so after that it becomes a hassle. So just from my view, just it's a nice tool to check what input you need, but basically you need pauses every screen change, and if you're knowledgeable in Sales Simulator 5 you should pretty much know when and where that is. Alright, so how do we start this stuff? Alright, I suppose you got the script. You went to the fifarace.de forum. In the Sales Simulator general forum, there's some kind of post there setting up your own Sales Simulator server. One of the posts has this auto hotkey script in it. Open it with your favorite editor. Mine is Get It. I don't know which one you have. At the end of the video we'll walk through fast and dirty way through the script, explaining some pieces and bits of it. So how is it started? Well, you just go to the folder where it is. I saved it under bavarialeak.ahk. Right click, don't run the script, but run as administrator. That's about it. Now the script is running, which can be verified right here. It says bavarialeak.ahk. Fine. So we're all set. All we need is Sales Simulator. So let's fire up Sales Simulator. And again, and again, and again. Please check if it's windowed, just in case somebody sometime comes up with mouse movements that go from coordinate XI to coordinate ZX, and you wouldn't have the screen size, same resolution. In the windowed mode, I reckon it's always the same resolution, 1000 something by 700 something, 1024 789, but okay. Means every mouse click would be on every screen, every computer at the same place, always hitting the right button. If you use different screen resolutions and sizes, you end up in trouble. So windowed mode, don't change anything else, and start the game. This should be the standard resolution, standard size, and it's in a default position where the game is running. Main menu, single player highlight. That's what the bot expects. Bot is started with string Control-Alt-S to start the bot. Wait the first pause for 1 second. It changes the course, it changes the wind, it changes the wind direction even if you don't see it. Here it goes. Direction is highlighted. It's moving the slider all the way to the left, even if it's already there. 360 left arrow keystrokes in a time you never would be able to do it, and then it moves it back 90 keystrokes to the right. to get to 90 degrees wind, east. Back to the lobby, back to the start session button, hitting the start session button, and then waiting 35 seconds for all the other skippers to join. You don't expect me to count these 35 seconds. Certainly you'll have to believe me, it really is 35 seconds. And basically I'm now just talking to fill up the time. Nothing else to say. Like I said, there we go. Restart is 3 minutes. I've set this script, or I changed the script so that races run for 240,000 milliseconds, meaning from here 4 minutes and then the bot would shut down the race. So I'll leave you right here and we'll come back right close before the game, the race is closed by the bot. Alright, bye bye for now. Alright, so a quick mission close at the finish. Waiting 12 seconds for the game to go back to the lobby. Countdown in the game runs 10 seconds, so we wait 12 seconds. Then we post changing course and wind. We changed the course already. Now we're changing the wind speed from 18 to 17 knots, going all the way to 0 first, then come back up to 18, 360 times. Left arrow key to set it at 0 degrees. And then 90 times right arrow key to put it on 90 degrees. Oh, sorry, it's a northerly course, so it remains at 0. Yes, it does. Northerly wind, head to wind start. Waiting the 35 seconds again for the bot to kick in and start. Waiting for skippers to join. There we go. And 3-minute restart. And we'll be back shortly before the bot cuts off the race again. Oh, and again, we're in the race, and there the race is shut down. 10 seconds waiting, 12 seconds waiting for the game engine to do the 10-second countdown. There we go, changing course and wind. Change the wind speed all the way to 18 knots, going from 90 degrees east all the way to 0 degree north. Of course, doing the other 270 steps too, because we want always to start at 0. We have a positive number to set course. And after announcing in the chat that the race is open the session, and then wait 35 seconds for the other skippers to join. And then the race is started. Three-minute countdown. Alright, so the match has stopped. And the bot posts a message that the regatta is finished, and the bot has ended. And you can also see that between starting the session and after changing the session, it indeed posted race open, in case you didn't read that. Of course, the skipper in the lobby will have ample time to read it. Alright, good. That's it for now. Well, maybe I'll put up some more videos, possibly explaining the script. Alright, bye bye for now. Alright, so let's do a short and fast walkthrough of that ominous Sail Simulator bot script, using my favorite editor here. By default it's open in that script, so here we go. This is the script. Basically, well, comments are enclosed in semicolons. Every line starting with a semicolon is a comment. It's nothing, no executable stuff there. So here we go. If window active, if when active Sail Simulator 5, basically it just checks if the Sail Simulator 5 window is active. Without any brackets or whatever, this really does nothing. If when active followed by a block of code would make the execution of the block of code dependent on the if the window is active, this just simply does nothing here. Right, so then there's some problems with the various responsivenesses of different computers, fast or slow or whatever. So we need something to check and control the speed with which the virtual keystrokes are executed. Yes, delay, press play, set the key display to the numbers, and that will change the speed with which the various keystrokes are executed. Alright, so then we have a function regatta. Don't ask me why, that's the way I did it. Function regatta, and alright, again checking for if the window is active. Basically still doing nothing because no block of code attached. Actually it's just sits there and waiting for that block of code to be created, which is what follows next. So apart from setting the key delays here, I just did them again, so it's really slow this time. Again, 110 against 2010. It's 20 milliseconds there. And alright, so that's just to make sure whatever it does, it's not too fast, so you at least can see something. If it does something unexpectedly, you might want to increase this number, like double them. It'll be slower, but you'll be able to see actually what it's doing. So then, yeah, after the function starts, okay, it checks if window is active, has nothing to see, key delays, nothing to see, and then it sleeps for 1 second, just for the heck, sleep 1000 milliseconds. Alright, so we're in the main menu then, or we should be. Single player is selected by default, and actually we do want to go to multiplayer, so we need to have one key stroke arrow down. That's what this does. It sends the arrow key down stroke to the game. Then after that the single player multiplayer is highlighted, and of course we want that, so we send the enter key to the game. So local game is selected by default, so we execute that, send another enter. And then we skip through the settings, username, skip with a tabulator, port number, skip with a tabulator, check button, create a session. It's already checked, so check with skip with a tabulator. Another tabulator to skip the maximum number of players. In my case, that's set at a maximum of 64. It remembers it, so next time we start a session, it's still at 64. And remember, the maximum of 64, that's only in your local. If you go to the standard server, the maximum is now 12. Okay, so the cursor then is on the create button. And of course we want that, create a session, so we send the enter key. Now, this means the screen will change. So in order not to have any tabulator skipping through menus that aren't there yet, we'll just pause for 1 second. If you have a very responsive computer, you can make it shorter, make it 500 milliseconds. If your computer is really slow, you might need to increase those numbers. Alright, so again, in the lobby then, go to define session with a tabulator. So then we go, we need to define the session, so enter. Again, we skipped through a lot of the settings. And we want to go to the weather settings, wind settings, change. So that's an enter there. Then we'll go to the courses, move one down arrow. So that's the next course. Then we skip through the other ones. And then we're on the environment, change the environment, and well, leave everything except for the wind speed. So with a lot of tabulators we then actually have the wind speed slider highlighted, and then we're gonna send, first of all, we're gonna send it all the way back to 0 knots. That means we need to send 140 left arrow keystrokes, which is done here. Send left 140 times. So the first race, in my case, I want to set to 17 knots at half knot increment. That means 34 right arrow keystrokes. Send here. That's where in the video you saw the thing moving all the way to the left and then go to 17 knots right. Alright, so for no good reason except for having the engine keep up with the strokes, we put in another second pause. Move down to the wind direction with a tabulator, and then here too, increment is 1 degree, so we want to set it to 0, so we know have a steady, always the same starting point. So we send the slider all the way to the left 360 times left arrow. So I want to have east wind in the first race, so we're gonna send it right 90 times, which means then wind direction 90 degrees. Alright, something about seconds and sets, another pause, a couple of tabulators, and then sometime we're on the environment change button and execute that one. Another couple of tabulators, and while we're still on the back in the lobby, then we're on the define session, and we of course want to move to the start session. So we go 1 up arrow. Could also do a shift tab to go up, go back in the menu, so to speak. Okay, this one is an up, and then entered, and then the game engine moves us in the session, where we then wait 35,000 milliseconds right here. Before executing the race, shift plus M, which is L shift down and an M. Okay, so that means left shift button at the left side of the keyboard, push it down and keep it. Then send the M keystroke, and after that lift the left shift button, let it go up again. So it's like pushing the shift button, typing M, and then letting the shift button come up again. Now then we're in the race is running. The start gun will sound at the set restart time. The race will sleep for 240,000 milliseconds here, which is 4 minutes in this case. Of course, if you want it longer, like 20 minutes, you need to set it to 12 million milliseconds, etc, etc, etc. Now, one thing is important. All sessions should have set automatic closing of the race when the last boat finishes. Of course, the bot will never finish a race, even if it's in a rip or another boat. It will not finish the race while it's not sailing, so the race always closes when the next Shift M command is executed right here. Then some stuff about, right, we have the 12-second pause, waiting for the game to do its 10-second countdown, in which time you can see the results by hitting the tabulator. And of course we could do that, make a screenshot and have the bot save the screenshot to a particular folder. Something for later, or if you're up to it, then just go and do it. Manuals about how AutoHotkey are available at autohotkey.com, and all the stuff is there. Alright, so then we're in the lobby and sending changing course and wind message, and then the whole thing starts again, going to the define session, changing the wind direction, and then going back to the lobby, this time entering the chat and typing race is open, then move to the start session button, start the session and wait for 35 seconds, do a Shift N, let the race run again for 240,000 milliseconds. After the race, again do Shift M, wait 12 seconds for the countdown. If possible, do something with the screenshot. Okay, and then finally, after 2 races in this incident, regatta finished, bot ended, and some comments about what else we could do if we wanted to. So that's about it. Alright, try it out, play around, and if you find some new ideas or have some things you want to change and share with us, go in the forum at vivarace.de and just post what ideas you have and what changes you have made. Bye for now.